So today is the day that I'm going to be trying out a new foundation. It is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Foundation. I'm really excited about it. The foundation recently came out. I've actually watched a couple of videos about the foundation, just a few influencers that I follow who have a similar skin type and tone as I do, and wanted to kind of see what their thoughts were, what shades they were using, so that I could maybe try to figure out my own shade as well, kind of shade match myself. From their reviews, it made me say, okay, let's give this a try and see how it works. So I went down to my local Sephora's, my two Sephora's that are in the mall near me, the one in Penny's and then the one that's independent, and got a few samples. So I've got like 5 different samples of 5 different shades, all near each other and within the same kind of skin tone. But first, before we jump into even just trying these out and seeing which shade I want to try and wear, I do want to tell you a little bit about the foundation. It says on the Urban Decay site that you can find your naked truth with Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. It's a vegan, buildable, medium coverage liquid foundation with a real skin matte finish that lasts up to 24 hours. They designed this lineup of 50 shades, 50, with 9 shade intensities, 3 master tones, and 7 undertones, so you can dial in your precise color match. It's a waterproof, long-wear foundation that feels like you're wearing nothing, thanks to a breathable, flexible formula that moves with you all day and all night up to 24 hours. And it only feels better, it also looks better with its stay true color, which minimizes the appearance of pores so you always look like you. But the things that really stood out to me when I started reading about this is that it's medium coverage. I'm not really a full coverage person. I have a few foundations that are more full of coverage that I will wear, but it's not my preference. It says that it's got a matte finish. I love a matte finish. I've got naturally oily skin, so starting with a matte finish helps me to look less like a grease ball by the end of the day. It lasts up to 24 hours, which is great because now that I'm going to be wearing foundation for 24 hours, but, you know, with oily skin, makeup just seems to like not look so great on me the longer I wear it. So the more long wearing and long lasting the foundation is, the better my foundation will tend to look towards the end of the day. And it's waterproof. Not that I care that it's waterproof, but you do sweat a bit in Florida, so you know your face can get a little wet with the sweat. So maybe by having it be waterproof, it might help it stay on my face longer and look better. And it's also got a breathable, flexible formula so that it really feels like you're not wearing much. And I like foundations that don't really feel like I'm wearing anything on my face. I like to forget that I have anything on my face, but look like I probably am wearing a foundation, but not look too made up, if that makes any sense. To find your shade in this foundation, it's kind of a little bit of a process, but it actually makes a lot of sense, and it probably can help you find your shade a lot easier than you would in a lot of other foundations. So you need to go through this process of picking your shade intensity, your master tone, and your undertone. So with shade intensities, the first place you start, and you choose from 9 different shade intensities, where 10 is the lightest at ultra fair and 90 is the darkest at ultra deep. I figured that I was somewhere in 70, 80, or 90, and 70 is dark, 80 is deep, and 90 is ultra deep. So I figured I'm somewhere in that range. And then once you choose that, then you get to pick your master tone. And so the master tone is really just the overall tone of the surface of your skin, and there are 3. And that is what you hear a lot of. You hear the cool, you've got neutral, and you've got warm. Okay, so once you pick your master tone, then the last step is to pick your undertone. And so what is an undertone? It's basically the natural hue that's underneath your skin. So it's underneath the surface. And there's 7 different ones. And so if you picked a cool master tone, then you either have a pink, blue, or green undertone. If you picked a warm master tone, then typically you would have a yellow, orange, or red undertone. I kind of have like a little bit of a yellow undertone. And then, so if I picked warm, then I would pick yellow. But I picked neutral, and so neutral just has a neutral undertone. There's really nothing else there if you're neutral. So I picked that, and so it said that my naked truth is, because I picked the 80s, I picked deep, so kind of in between the dark and the ultra deep, I think is what it's called. They said that my shade is 80NN. So I went to Sephora and got a bunch of different shades. I also got shade matched within the store because I figured, you know, these are supposed to be beauty experts. They're supposed to know what they do. They're supposed to be able to shade match all kinds of people. Yeah. So I ended up getting shade matched too. I got shade matched in each of the different Sephoras, one in the Penny Sephora, one in the independent Sephora, and I ended up getting shade matched to 90NN. Yeah, 90s, ultra deep. I mean, I am dark, but I don't think I'm ultra deep. And then also got shade matched to 90 and 91NN. Yeah. And then I asked for samples for myself in 81WY, which is warm yellow, 81NN, and 80NN. So I'm going to basically take all of these and we're going to, you know, look and see which shade makes the most sense for my skin and see who got it right. The Sephora experts or me. We're starting with 91 and in the neutral. So most of these are neutral. There's only one in the warm section. I figured I probably am not that necessarily in this foundation. So, oh, look at how deep that is. Yeah. Okay, ooh, it's making a mess. Okay, see, this is why I needed protection because stuff was going to start to fall out. I just knew it was going to happen. Okay, so this is how deep this is. I mean, it's a nice rich color, I will say. Which side do I want to do? Let's do this side. Let's put it on. No. I mean, it does look good. It just looks deep and obvious. So this is 91 and in right there. All right, next we will do 90 and in. So there's 91. This one is a lot, not as rich a brown. Is this really 91? This is 90, not 91. This is 90. So we got 90 and in here. That one is a lot more, like, I think, closer. All right, then next, I guess we'll try 81 in, and then we'll try 81 with the warm. I think I'm gonna run out of space. This is 81 in. Stick that here next to it. It's 81. And then we're going to do 81 warm WI. I don't know. I feel like these might have gotten mixed up when she did them because that one looks like it's probably the yellow one. And this one might be the new. No, never mind. Take it back. And then we've got 80 and in. So this one's the lightest of them all. I just like ran out of space. So let's just do it here on this side, the 90. Oops, on the 90. It's like a rainbow of colors. I can tell you right off that 80 ain't right. That 91 ain't right. Yeah, I feel like down here is just where I probably should be. I mean, why she thought 91. I don't know. I can't. I just can't. So I'm looking in the mirror and I honestly Can't tell, other than I know the 80 ain't working, the 91 ain't working. I think the 90 might be slightly too much too. I'm definitely in the 81 camp. Whether I want the warm or the neutral, I don't know, but you know what we're going to do? Take all of this off, and I'm going to put on some primer. And we're going to go ahead and, yeah, put one on one side and one on the other and just kind of see. I think that's probably the easiest way for me to do this, just because I got the time and I can. So like I said, we're going to do 81 and N and 81 WY. We'll put all the other ones to the side. I feel like it blended in pretty well. I could probably put a little bit more on. All right, so that's 81 NN on this side. So let's do 81 WY on, ooh, let's drop the whole dang on thing, on the other side. Okay, so I put a little bit more foundation on both sides. I'm not sure which side I like better. I feel like this one might have a little bit of more of a glow, but I can't tell if it's just because the light's better over here than it is over here. Yeah, I think it looks good on both ends, and I feel like it blends in. It doesn't make me look like I have a mask or anything on. Ooh, okay, well, we'll see. Maybe I am lucky enough that I've got two shades that I can use in this foundation. I don't know. So anyway, I will go ahead and probably put on a little bit more makeup just because I'm going to be going out running some errands. So I put on the rest of my makeup. I've got I put some powder on, a little bit of blush, a little bit of eyeshadow, some eyeliner and mascara. So it's really light, like natural looking makeup day because I'm just going to run some errands. It's a Saturday. I'm just doing whatever. But I have to say, like, I can't really tell the difference between the two sides. I don't know, maybe you can, I can't. But I feel like it just all works. Like, I'm liking it. Like, I feel comfortable and confident in this foundation. So we're going to try it, and I will check in a little bit later and let you see how the foundation is faring. So it has been about 5.5 hours since I put the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Foundation on. Like I said, 5.5 hours. I have not blotted once. I did not put on any kind of setting spray. This is me after 5.5 hours, and I have to say, this looks pretty good. Like, I look a little glowy, but it's not bad. Like, I'm not hating it. Like, I'm totally fine with it. Like, it just looks natural. And I feel like it stayed on very well. I have to say, like, this is the side that had the warm. This is the side that had the neutral. You can start to see a little bit of a difference. Like, this is starting to look a little gray, and this is definitely looking warmer. I think I am 81 WY. I think that's the side. That's the shade I prefer. I can wear neutral if I needed to, but I think I like the warm yellow. So that's probably what I would go with if I decide I'm going to go ahead and buy it. Okay, you know what? I'm going to get some toilet paper, and we're going to blot, and we're going to see what it looks like. Hold on. Blot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That looks great. That looks good. Like I think, you know, I think doing that made it even look even better, but it was already looking good. So I have to say, I like this foundation. Now, one thing that I noticed is that after I put it on, after a little bit, I could feel how matte it was. Like I was feeling it in my cheeks and my forehead, and I realized, well, that's where I put my matte primer. So I feel like with this, I don't need a primer that's as matte as what I used. I can use something else that isn't so matte because the foundation is really matte. So I felt like I had too much on my face and it felt kind of tight for a little bit, but then that tightness went away. But I'm pretty sure it had to be because of the foundation and the primer, because I just felt it in the areas where I put the primer. I didn't feel it like down here where I didn't put any primer. So I feel like it was a combination of the two. The color stayed, it stayed true. Like I said, it looks still really good. I will probably use up the rest of my sample and then I'll decide if I really want to buy it. I feel like this is a keeper. I would definitely recommend it. I was out today and it wasn't really hot, but it was hot. It was humid, not extremely humid, but it was humid. And I was out and I walked around a shopping center and walked from store to store and sweated a little bit, and so it held up through all of that. So this is really good. Okay, so that's all that I have for you in this video. If you have tried the Stay Naked Weightless foundation or the concealer, I would love to hear what your experience was. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you able to find a shade that worked for you or not? Please leave all that in the comments below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please also make sure to share it. And if you're not a subscriber to the ARelaxedGal Beauty channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.